Flosstube, it's Annie. I'm the designer behind Annie Beez Folk Art. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while. I'm going to do all the things they tell you not to do with Flosstube. Number one, I'm sorry it's been such a long time. I know you're not supposed to apologize, but it's been a while, so I feel like I should apologize. Number two, I'm going to complain about my lighting. My studio is very bright, which is wonderful for painting and cross stitch and all those things, but I do get a lot of glare, so I've been working a little bit hard this morning trying to get a good angle and get the lighting right, so hopefully it's okay. So complained about my lighting. So let's catch up. Thank you for visiting. I really am so grateful for all of my subscribers and everybody on Instagram. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful community. You all kind of, if you're on Instagram, you know kind of the drama that's been going on this last month all around this new little baby of ours. So my newest granddaughter was born on January 16th, and about a week before she was born, she moved into the transverse position, which is, you know, instead of being head down, she was like planking. And it can be very dangerous. So my daughter had to go in and have a procedure, was supposed to go in and have a procedure, and I put the call out on Instagram and all of my prayer groups and asked people to pray, and people did, because she went in for the procedure. She was terrified to have this procedure done. They were just gonna they just manually turned the baby from the outside. I don't know, but so she went in to have it, and she's up on the table, and all the doctors and nurses are there, and they're all watching her, and the baby just stood up, moved over, and went right down into the position she was supposed to be in. So she never had to have the procedure. And being a believer, I say that was all the prayers, because it was just almost miraculous. Like, everyone in the office saw it happen. Her stomach just went whoosh. So it was kind of cool. So then about a week later, Naomi was born, and the birth was long, but it was, you know, good. Everything, my daughter was in great shape afterwards, which was wonderful, because she's had a couple of experiences in the past with the other girls that weren't too great, so it was wonderful. And that also I attribute to all the prayers. So thank you so much if you sent thoughts and prayers our way. I really appreciate it. And then last week, Amy, who is in kindergarten, she's the oldest, brought home a flu virus from school, and the baby caught it, and it was very, very scary. She had 104 temperature. My daughter took her into the office, and they admitted her right away, and they wanted to do a spinal tap, and it was really, really scary. And again, I put out the call on Instagram, and people prayed, and she got better. She never had to have the spinal tap, which was great. I mean, the reason they do that is to make sure when it's a baby under, I think it's under like 30 days, they want to make sure that the fever is due to a virus and not something bacterial like meningitis. So there is a really good reason to do it, but of course, you don't want them to do it to your tiny. She's only 3 weeks old. It was so, so scary. And because all the other girls, so Amy had the flu, and then all the other girls caught the flu, and so they, you know, the evidence that it was something viral was there, and then they did a bunch of other tests, and it turned out that they could conclude that it was a virus and not bacterial, so they never did have to do it. So if you were someone who sent thoughts and prayers our way, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's so scary when a little 3-week-old is in the hospital and has a fever that high. But she is in great shape now. She came home last Thursday. While she was in the hospital, the other 3 girls were all sick. So there's Amy, who's the kindergartner, she's 5, and then Hideko, who is 3. And then May is going to be 2 next month. So they all had the flu. So while her mom and dad were up at the hospital, my husband and I and my daughter were with the other three girls, and it was quite a week. But it was so sad, especially May May, the 2-year-old, because, you know, she was miserable and she just wanted her mommy, and her mommy couldn't be with her, and, you know, she doesn't want us. She wants her mommy. So it was sad, but, you know, they all, like, weathered it so well. And I would say there was only one day that May's fever was so high, you know, that it was so sad. And the rest of the time she was just a trooper and hung in there. And, you know, their mommy's home now and they're all together and it's all great. Chelsea, my daughter, and her husband Bo also had the flu during all of this, so it was just something else. And now Isabel is sick, so she's recovering. So it's been interesting. Anyway, I meant to do this video last week, and obviously it didn't happen because of everything going on. So here I am. So it's Monday, it's January 18th, and here we go. So let's talk about cross stitch. That's what you're here for, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do my FFOs, my FOs, my whips, my plans, and then I'll do my new designs. I saw on Teresa Kitten Stitcher where everybody was saying what they didn't like, and some people don't like when you just talk about what you're selling, and I don't, you know, I'm not into like the hard sell. However, I am a small business, so I'm still going to cover it, but, and I do want to, you know, I'm excited about my new designs and I want to show them, but I'll leave it till after so that if you're not interested, you can just move on. You know, everybody has their different tastes and so forth. I don't expect everyone is like chomping at the bit to see my new designs. So anyway, so FFOs, I have one FFO, and this is Sampler Hill, which I finished into this frame. I showed this before when I had it just finished stitching. So go up close. Here's the frame. Try to get a good shot of the frame. I don't know. Maybe this side. There. Isn't that frame beautiful? So this frame came from a resale shop. I don't think it was Goodwill, but anyway, it was gold. And I just painted it with charcoal chalk paint, and then I did like a wax rub over it, and I love the way it turned out. It looks amazing. And then I just finished it. I stretch it with the pin method. I don't use the lacing because I'm just terrible at lacing. I don't know. It takes so long. And it's just mine. Nobody's going to care. So that's how I do it. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out so awesome. So Sampler Hill by Brenda Gervais. Everybody's favorite designer. Mine too. She's awesome. Okay, so that's the only FFO I have. And then my FO is, this is called 100 Ways. So this is Paulette Stewart. Let's see if I can get the whole thing in there. Isn't that cute? It's the Jane Austen quote. I love this. So I did this in January. I had a little rotation going on. So I have to use a rotation because part of my stitching is model stitching, and if I don't use a rotation, I will literally stitch everything but my models. So that's called 100 Ways, I think it's called. Anyway, so that's my, is that my only? Yeah, that's my only FO, and I finished that in January. And then my whips. So I was watching Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, and she was talking about her doing And They Sinned, you know, which is the giant, this is the sampler that's like 5 feet long when you finish it. And I've had this as a whip in my stash like forever, since it came out. Ugh, let me get this off. Oopsie. Alright, I just lost my magnet. Oh well, I'll find it. Anyway, so I've got it on scroll rods, but so Carol was talking about doing this on Sunday. So, And They Sinned Sundays. So here's mine. So on Sunday I'm working on this, but I didn't work on it yesterday because I'm just like that. I had to laugh when Michelle of the Striped Rose was talking about she knows if she does like a Stitch 9 challenge that she'll never stitch on anything. I'm like that too. It's like if I challenge myself, then that's the last thing I feel like working on. Anyway, here's And They Sinned. This is what I have done. This is the top. And I'm down to, I got Adam and Eve in there. Ugh, this is hard to show on these scroll rods. And I'm working on this like section in here. So there's like a tree of life, Adam and Eve, or the tree of knowledge, I guess it is. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I was inspired by Carol because she was saying, you know, if I just work on it a little bit every Sunday, eventually it'll be done. Well, she's right. That's true. So that's what I'm trying to do too, is eventually be done with it. Because it's cool. It's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, so that's And They Sinned. American Sampler. This is Paulette Stewart's design. I absolutely love this. See if I can show you without a glare. Isn't that awesome? And the verse says, "Give me a calm and thankful heart, from every murmur free. The blessings of thy grace impart, preserve our liberty. Sic semper tyrannis," which means, get out of here, tyrants. Anyway, I love this. I can't get a good. I probably have to take it out. There. Isn't that beautiful? The flags and. So I'm working this exactly as charted. So it is on 36, and I know I made a big deal about how I don't like 36, but I don't know. I like this. I think this is called Winter's Brew, and this is an R&R fabric. I don't know how to get it so you can see it. So that's what I have done so far. I've got the top section. I'm working on the house. I hope you can hear me. I'm doing the other thing they said not to do, which is talk behind your cross stitch. Anyway, I love it. So that's probably my kind of like focus piece right now that I'm focusing on in between, or like part of my rotation. Land That I Love. This is a tiny little Lizzie Kate that I pulled out of my stash. I'm in like a kind of a patriotic mood this year. I just like the colors of, I just love that, like kind of, especially the kind of primitive red, white, and blue. I just love that. So Land That I Love, this is all I have. I'm sure I'll be done with this week because this is just a short little, oh, do you like my, that's stopping right in the middle of a stitch. So that's all I have so far. But this is a short little sweet one. Sometimes you just need, you know, a quick finish, right? So, all my threads. And I'm doing it in a selection. I'm using Deep Sea for the blue and Schoolhouse Red, which I love this red. And then the rest DMC. Because really, I just feel like, you know, if you don't have like a big block of color, so this I would call a big block of color the house and Behind the Stars, and actually the green too. That's where I'm going to use my variegated threads. And the rest of it I'm just going to do DMC. I'm not going to, for the most part, if I don't already have them, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on things that aren't going to really matter or show up. Okay, next, Winter Sampler. This is by Little House. Let's take it right out of the... Isn't that pretty? This is just classic Little House Needleworks. Just so cute. Everything's symmetrical. Gotta love it. And I don't have much on this. I'm just kind of throw this in my rotation, and I am doing it on the called for 28 count clay cashel linen, which is a beautiful fabric if you're going to use white. Look at how pretty the white and how well it shows up on there. You know, sometimes that can be a problem. So I've just got 2 rows of this. This is a band sampler, so I'm just trying to do, like when I do work on it, I try to get a whole row done. So, Winter Band Sampler, Little House Needleworks. And I think I'm using all DMC on that one. And, oh, all creatures great and small. Here's another scroll rod, so this is going to be a little tricky, but I finished the, I think it's the second row. You can see that. Oh, I don't think I can unroll this because this is on that roll of frame. I can't unroll it, so anyway, finished the second row. I've got 2 more rows to go. I love this. Every time I work on it, I don't want to put it down. It's so much fun. Okay, so those are my whips. Next are my plans. So I do have a few things kitted. I have no idea when I'm ever going to start these. But they're kitted. So, so the first one is called Blue Skin. I'm sure you've seen this. This is by Paulette Stewart. This is, can't get it out. This is George Washington's horse. Okay. I love this so much. Like every single thing about it. I love how the cherries have that little highlight. I love George. I love the horse. I love this little blanket that's like patriotic. This is just a great design. I love everything about this. It's so cute. And this is, I think I'm doing all the called for. Here's the linen, which is called Nantucket Brew. So I'm sure this is a R&R. Anyway, it's a very gray. Can you see? I'm trying not to talk behind this stuff, but I don't know how you do that. Anyway, it's gray. And then I believe I have all the called for threads. Let's see. Nope, I guess not. I see a lot of DMCs in here. I have some of the called for threads. I don't know. I don't know. Does it call for a lot of DMC? Yeah. Okay, so I guess it is. So I'll show you what. I'll try to hold this up in the like Nicole's needlework way and be like all cool like her and show you my threads. There. Aren't they pretty? Gorgeous. Can't wait to work on that. I don't know when that'll be. Sometime. Someday. So that's part of my plans. Another one that I kitted, which I'm just, oh, I want to start this so bad. This is another Brenda Gervais. It's called Liberty House. This is the one that when you watch Carol Saltbox Stitcher, it's behind her on the wall. The red house that we all admire every time she does a video. Here it is. Liberty House. Really, really, really want to do this. And this is another one I did all the called for. I chose 36 count platinum because I had it in my stash. And after working with one thread over 2 on American Sampler, I'm kind of liking that. So that's what I'm going to do on this one too, I think. We'll see how the coverage looks. This is 36. I don't know why I said 32. One thread over 36 for American Sampler. Try to get my act together here. Wait till you see these colors though, if I can ever get them all gathered. Oops. Let me get the grays in there. Okay. Look at that. Woohoo! Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, cannot wait. Can't wait. So pretty. Chomping at the bit. But I won't let myself start it until at least I have to finish Winter Band Sampler. And then maybe I'll let myself start it if I don't start Blue Skin, which I might. I don't know. All this, but I still have to model stitch, so. Okay, and then plans. I did order this because of Carol. When she, okay, first she showed it on her video, and I was like, oh, I need that, but I'm going to resist. And then she showed the finished sampler on Instagram, and that was it. I ordered it like immediately. So this is Pink House Sampler, another Paulette Stewart. Can you see it? Can you hear me talking behind it? Isn't that gorgeous? And these little sheep down here, oh my gosh, so cute. And this says, the loss of a father is much, the loss of a mother is more. The loss of Christ is such, no other can restore. I love, love, love that saying. Beautiful. Gotta do it. So I can't start this until I finish American Sampler. And I don't know, it's going to take me a while. So meanwhile, I try to start kitting this up. It says the model is stitched on 40 count Old Town blend. You know I'm not going to do 40 count. I'll probably do 36. And then it's mostly Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. So, and there's like 1 week's in there. Cranberry Ice, so that's probably the red flowers, which I could probably substitute. I don't have a lot of weeks. I have a lot of Gentle Arts and I have a lot of Classic Colorworks, but I don't have a lot of weeks. Okay, so those are my plans. Now I will show you my new designs after I clean up this mess that I made. Ugh. Can't wait to try to put all this back together. What did I drop? I dropped something over here. Okay, so Country Christmas Ornament Club through Crazy Annie's. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone who signed up for that. You guys are like putting me on the map, so I really appreciate it. You know, I started this business on a shoestring, believe me. So I have very low budget, but thanks to you guys, I'm able to finally hire some model stitchers, so that's exciting. And that's because of this club. So, I know obviously I showed the first one. This is the Tree Farm. This was the January release. And the February release, I can't remember if I showed this or not. This is the little top hat that says Joy. And they all come with the Jabco buttons. And then here is the, let's see, March release. The Ice Skate. Comes with the red heart buttons. Simple finish. These are all really quick stitches because they're like only like 44 by 46 or something like that. So you can stitch them. I mean, if you're Joan from Joan and Kelly, you can stitch this in an hour. But the rest of us, it'll take us like a night, maybe 2 nights at the most. Probably not even 2 nights. You could do it in a night. Or maybe like, I think what I usually do is 1 night to do all the border, although I'm getting really fast at it, and then 1 night to do all the inside. So, but if it takes you longer, who cares? There's still a quick stitch. A very quick stitch. So anyway, thank you to everyone who signed up for the club. You can still sign up. If you didn't, you know, jump on it right from the beginning, just contact Crazy Annie Stitchin'. She's on Facebook, and that's probably the best place to get her. Or she has a Bonanza website. So it's like Crazy Annie's. You know, I really should have pulled her like email address. I'm sorry. Anyway, Crazy Annie's on Facebook's probably the easiest way, and I will put the links down in underneath so that you can still sign up and you can find her easily. Okay, so that is the Country Christmas Ornament Club, And the other thing is I started in February a series of 9, so they'll come out one a month for 9 months. It's a snowman series, and this is called Snowy 9 Patch, and that is because it's like a 9 patch, so there's 9 squares. Okay, 3 rows of 3. These are also a very, very quick stitch. These are another like 40 by 44 or something, and there's not a lot of heavy stitching in there. So this is February and March. March is shipping this week to the stores, or you can order it from me, and I'll have it in my Etsy shop in a couple of days. You can email me. I'll put the link below if you want to sign up on automatic, and I'll just send you one every month when they come out. They're $7 a piece, and you will have all 9 by the end, and it'll finish. When does it finish? It finishes in October, the end of October, so that's plenty of time to get it ready for Christmas. And these are kind of a brighter palette. They're a little bit like on the vintagey side in that they have a bright red and like a turquoisey blue in all of them. So that's the palette that I chose. But my local LNS, which is Tomorrow's Heirlooms, they have done a conversion with a little bit more subdued, kind of a primitive-ish palette, and I think they're using overdyed. So you can, if you want to sign up through them, you can get, they will send you their threads and their conversion with the chart if you go on automatic with them. So I will have a link below. It's Tomorrow's Heirlooms, and you can just email them if you want to get on their automatic and get their conversion to overdyed threads, or you can call them, and the link will be below. So February and March. And March came out a little bit early just because of market, because I just wanted to get them sent out before everybody's gone. So, okay. So those are my new designs. I do have some other things in the works. I've got a patriotic one that I hope to have ready in May. And also I've done a little design for the Bag of the Month Club from So Much to Love, and that'll be the April bag. And oh my gosh, it's so cute. So cute. So I'm excited for that, but I can't show you that one yet. Okay, so that's my new stuff. And then, what else do I have here? I did promise Carol from Saltbox Stitcher that I would show my Gail Wilson dolls, so I will have a picture at the end, and then I just have a couple right here that I can show you real quick. Here's one. These are all dolls that I made. I used to make a lot of dolls out of Gail Wilson's kits. This one I made in '08. They are intense. Like they're very, very detailed. This one has molded hands and head, and then there's like a way that you stitch it onto a cloth body and molded feet. I never made her dress. I just made her little underwear because I actually like the look of dolls in underwear. But she has this snood. I made that. She's a little open in the back. And then I think she has like a Civil War dress that I never did make. And I don't know if I ever will, but I still have the pattern. I could make it. So I did all the painting myself and everything. So that's one. Here's another one. This is another one that I think it just has, yeah, the ceramic head. So you would like buy the head from her and then you paint it yourself, attach it to the body. It's got a cloth body. This one has like little pantaloons and little shoes. Look at the shoes. Those are all handmade with little, they actually come on and off, don't they? Yeah, and she's got stockings and the whole deal. I try to keep these away from my granddaughters because they will pulverize them. Which I have let them play with some of the Gail Wilson dolls, and the hair started getting pulled out and stuff. So, okay, this is her early American girl, and at one time you could make this doll. This is her little doll. And you could make she had like a whole dollhouse full of like early American furniture that was like completely authentic and everything. And I always wanted to do that, and I never did get around to it. But she's got little pantaloons and little painted shoes. So that's the early American. The only thing I made was the chair. So this was a kit, and you like wove the seat, and so she sits on that little chair. It's the only thing I made was the chair. I wish I would have made it all because it was so cute. But I have a small house, no room to put anything. And then one other doll that I have that is not Gail Wilson, this is a Nicole Sayer. So she used to be a really hot doll maker, probably like 10 years ago or maybe a little more. And this is the only one I ever bought from her. I love this doll. It just has this molded face and then the cloth body and molded hands. And it's very primitive, and molded feet. My daughters think this is the most hideous thing they've ever seen. And maybe you do too, but I love her. I love how like super wonky she is, and look at her little face. It's like so sweet, and she's all crackled and everything. Anyway, I like her. My daughters, they always make fun of her. Anyway, so those are my Gail Wilson. Then I have more, and I'll just put a picture at the end so you can see the rest. Okay, so the only thing I have left is painting. So, one more thing. Can I show this? Yeah. This is another quilt that I'm working on. This is called Village Green, and this is a Maggie Bonanami. I don't know how to say her name. And I just show this because Carol showed hers. Carol, this is all I have. I have the first square, basted. So I used like the glue based. And then this is all I have done. Is like this is sewn on, this is sewn on, one leaf, frond. That's like it. And this is the first square. So that's where I am. You want to do a stitch along? One square a year? That's about. I just don't have time to do it. I love to do it, but I don't have time. Like so many projects, so little time. Okay, that was a quickie. All those things for Carol. Okay, so painting. So, I think a lot of you have been watching Teresa Kogut. She has a Flosstube now, which is kind of cool. It's interesting to watch her Flosstube. And I've been a fan of hers for years and years. Like, I can't even remember, like, way back when she had her first painting business. I think it was called Primitive Whims or something like that, and I had bought like a little book. There was like these little mini books, and maybe calendars, I can't remember, but I used to always really love her and was inspired by her work. She was very primitive, obviously, she still is. Anyway, so watching her Flosstube, she mentioned that like her website, and I went there, and she has this e-course called Creatively Balanced Life. And it was like right up my alley. I used to paint a lot, and I still do paint watercolors, but I haven't painted in acrylics in ages. And so I thought, I'll just take this class just to like get me back in the mood of painting some acrylics, because I just like in the mood to do it. So that's what I did, and it's been really fun. So the first paintings I did, so there's 9 paintings, and each one has like a different theme, and the whole idea is that you're supposed to hang them all together, and each one like represents a different part of your life, like your faith, your family, your creativity, your business, whatever. And she's a businesswoman, I'm a businesswoman, so it like really works for me because it's like right up my alley. And so each one has a theme. I haven't painted all of them. I started out, I had my husband cut some wood that we had in the basement, so these are just like wood panels. This is one I screwed up, so I like painted over it and redid it on the other side. So here's one. This is the family one. This is really fun. This is just something I did for fun. This one is about like food and nutrition and like taking care of yourself by eating well. That's a chicken. I'm not done. I only have, I haven't done all of them. This one is about friendship. So keeping your friends, you know, balanced in your life, I guess. So it's a cat. And then I have another one that is an angel. That's the faith one, and I showed that on Instagram. I'll put a picture at the end. It's like hanging up. I don't want to take it down because it's going to be a hassle. But anyway, and then I decided to do one that was of my own. So first I'll show you the sketch. So I try to sketch every day because this is my sketchbook. It helps me. It's when I sketch something out and then paint it in watercolor, and then I go to, and I know I'm going to make a cross-stitch design out of it, and then I go to the computer and I, you know, put it into a chart. It's so much easier than if I just sit down and try to like come up with something at the computer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I try to keep a sketchbook of ideas going all the time. Here's one. This is one that I did. Welcome to the Hive. This is one of my designs. It wasn't very well thought out, you know, on paper, but it turned out as a really cute. I don't know what I did with it, but it turned out really cute as a cross stitch. Here's another one. So it's just, it's not, they're not like finished paintings. Here's a couple. So this is that first Snowy 9 patch. Turned out different on the cross stitch, obviously, but anyhow. So then I thought, oh, I'll try to take one of my sketches and make it into a painting like the way, in like the style that Teresa Kogut does. So here's my sketch, and then here's the painting that I did. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It turned out so, so cute. I love this big guy. And this birdie. Anyway, so that was really fun. And that's just for fun. But I might make a cross stitch out of that someday. Who knows? Who knows? Here's another one. So just, you know, I don't know. Here's one I painted with my granddaughter. Can you tell? She and I like to paint together. A lot of times when I go over there, if the other people are busy, she and I will steal off into the craft room and we'll paint together. She's very, very creative. Let's see if there's anything else in here I can show you. A lot of them aren't really very finished. They're just ideas, just getting ideas out onto the paper. Anyway, so mostly that's what I work in is pencil and watercolor, and it's just been really fun doing Teresa's class and like learning how to do that in acrylics. It's just fun. It's really fun. So thank you, Teresa. Okay, I think that might be everything I have for you today. Let me check out. Let's see. Oh, and also with the Gail Wilson dolls, Valerie at Stitching in the Barn, she showed some of hers too, and she's got some amazing Gail Wilson dolls as well. Anyway, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for your prayers and your help on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even tell you how grateful I am. And we're so happy that our little Naomi is all healthy again, and all of our girls. And also thank you if you signed up for the Country Christmas Ornament Club. Those will be rolling out every month, and yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back sooner rather than later. I am going to market. I'm not going to be a vendor there. I'm just going to check it out so that next year I can be a vendor. So taking it slow, building my business, that's the way to go. Okay, thank you so much. It's great to see you all, and I love all your comments. I really appreciate everything you guys talk about, and I try to answer them all. I really do. So thank you so much, and talk to you later. Bye.